Hi, everyone. Hey, it's Paul.DiGrigoli. And boy, I'll tell you, I am really excited about this next program that we're going to teach. It's called How to Be an Entrepreneur Behind a Chair. And I'm going to talk about, the key word is independent contractor. And I'm going to talk about suite owners, booth renters, and team-based salons. So the advantages and the disadvantages of all three. But before I get underway, I want to say that I thank each and every one of you for spending the time with me. And hopefully you're going to walk away with a wealth of information. And I want you to take some notes as we go along. You know my one-page plan that I talk about all the time, and the big five and the little five, and then the little five lead up to the big five. So it's really important to take notes because you're not going to remember everything that I'm going to talk about. So in any event, we talked about are you running your salon or your salon running you? You can always go back and you can watch this. We talked about secrets of the best stylists in the world. You can back and watch that. And then you can go back and watch Stunning Leadership, which is phenomenal. And then this one here, Entrepreneur Behind a Chair. And then next week, we're going to do Mastering Your Personal Development. And then the week after that, we're going to do 10 core values of a winning salon. And then after that, we're going to do Book Solid. And we're going to tie everything together. So I'm really excited about that. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank all of you for saying good morning. And I see all of your comments that you put on the screen, and it's fabulous. And you guys are amazing. And I want you to be the best of the best. So when we talk about how to be an entrepreneur behind a chair, one of the things I want to help every hairdresser to realize their greatest gift. And every single one of you out there have a great gift. I want you to work on it. You hear me talk about this. I call them 3 superpowers. And I want you to zero in on your 3 superpowers. And what are they? And that's what I really want you to deliver. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's not easy having your name painted over the front door. It's invariable hard work. So whether you're that independent contractor, whether you're team-based salons, it's very difficult. The game just started, and with all this, with the coronavirus that's going on, a lot of you are watching this right now on TV, and I think that you're going to find that a lot of the stuff that you're watching, we're starting to make some movement right now. We're starting to make some movement in Arizona, Florida. We're making some movement in Massachusetts. We're starting to make some movement, and you're going to see that we're going to chip away at it, and that's exactly what we're doing both in our salon and our school. We're opening it up on Tuesday, and we're going to kind of chip away at it. We're going to have everything to protect our people and to protect our client, the coronavirus. So we're going to do that as well. So you're going to see that. Life is short to play small with all of your talents. So I want you to really ramp up your talents. What are you really good at? Always have respect for yourself. I think that's really a key when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Okay? Stay on top of your goals. Now, you might ask me, what about your goals? Now, let's forget about Q1 because that's gone. Q1, 2, 3, January, February, March is gone. We're into April, May, and June. There's nothing wrong with starting over. So you might want to write down your personal goals and your professional goals. Remember, they both go hand in hand, okay? One of the things that I find with entrepreneurs, and I talk about this a lot, that they're physically exhausted. It's not because of anything else other than they're just physically exhausted. And when you're physically exhausted, you cannot make good decisions when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Rich connection with yourself, and I'm talking about a rich connection. I want you to take some time. I want you to think about it. We still have time. I mean, a daycare is not going back into Massachusetts until the end of June. So a lot of those people are not going to be going to work. Some of them are going to be going part-time. Some of them are going to be not going at all. You still have time to have rich connection with yourself. You learn what matters, and I think that's really what's important. A lot of yous, you turn 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. What really matters at this point? Like for me, I might have 25, 30 good years left. You know what I mean? So I'm going to find out what really matters the most. And I think that's the name of the game, okay? More towards with quality relationship. There's certain people in your life that are just great people. I mean, they bring value to you. They bring information to you. They bring knowledge to you. They bring experience to you. There's a lot of great people out there, and you want to surround yourself by good people. Constantly and continuously finding good people to surround yourself with. The people that are toxic, the people that are the naysayers, the people that, really, focus on the negativity. You want to stay away from those people. Maybe, they're good people, but, maybe they're just not for you. So I want you to really think about that. When you think about it, I want you to understand the definition of entrepreneur. And it's not, it's just a big word. I know it's a big word, but what really is the definition of an entrepreneur? And I wrote this down. A person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking a greater than normal financial risk. So with becoming an entrepreneur, you have to take a financial risk. And I want to slow that down because I want to say it one more time. A person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, so you can have more than one, taking a greater than normal financial risk than other people. And that's really the key when it comes to entrepreneurship. Businessman or businesswoman, that's the definition of an entrepreneur. As we grow greater, we understand better. So as we move along, we understand, we grow greater, and we understand better. And that's really the key, is understand why you do what you do and why you get up early and why you go to bed early. That's really the key as becoming an entrepreneur. Discipline requires a bunch of personal choices. And when I say that, I'm going to say it again, that business is a bunch of personal choices that you're going to make, because you're going to have to give up something in order to get something better. And making sure that when you give up something, it brings value to you, it brings value to your business, it brings value to the people that you work for, it brings value to your clients. And I think that's really the key. Great standards are great reasons why you become an entrepreneur. You've got to hold yourself to a higher standards, and you must change your standards in order to become an excellent entrepreneur. And I say this over and over again, you're truly not successful until you can walk away from your business and your business can operate without you. Then you have become an entrepreneur. Then you have become an effective leader. Okay? High victory is made in those early mornings. I talked early. I talked about getting up early. I talked about joining the 5 a.m. club. Robin Sharma has a book out that's called the 5 a.m. Club. It's an excellent book for you to go out and grab. I've read it. I've marked it up. I've looked at all the chapters. It's an excellent book. Robin Sharma, you can go online. You can read about him. He's a great, great guy. He wrote a book called the 5 a.m. Club. He starts his day at 5 a.m., just like I do. And from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., them are your golden hours. That's when you really zero in on what you do and get yourself ready for the day so you can have a very productive day. As an entrepreneur, you got to have an effective day. I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. The rich invest in time. The poor invest in money. So you got to invest in time. You can always get more money, but you can't get more time. So how you spend your time is extremely valuable. And I think that's the key when it comes to entrepreneurship. And it's all three of those categories. And I'm going to keep going back to those categories to keep reminding you of the independent contractor, of what you do every day, of taking care of the customer and taking care of your station and taking care of your workstation, and then being a team-based salon owner that you not only have yourself, but you have other people that work for you as well. They're your employees. The rich invest in time and the poor invest in money. And I want you to keep that in mind. You must be committed, no question, to what you're doing. So after this series, maybe you have a 6 months plan, maybe you have a year plan, maybe you have a 3-year plan, maybe you have a 5-year plan, maybe you have a 10-year plan, but you've got to zero in and you've got to find out really what works and what doesn't work. I think that's the key. And then you have to find out your plan. A lot of you might think that you have a plan. You tell yourself a story, why you don't have a plan or why you don't want to do it or why you do it. It requires a lot of discipline, but you can do it. I know you can do it. There's no question in my mind. Okay, next is becoming an entrepreneur. How do we become an entrepreneur? And, one of the biggest words that I want to use of not becoming an entrepreneur is neglect. And it's one word: neglect in time, neglect in discipline, neglect of writing things down, neglect of getting up early, a neglect of not joining the 5 a.m. club. It's neglect. It's not going to the schools, for an example, and finding the right people to work for you. It's not taking care of your customer at 9 o'clock a.m. in the morning or your 3 o'clock in the afternoon client. It's neglect. So let's talk about that a little bit. So when we're going to talk about becoming an entrepreneur, the hardest person to lead is yourself. And you hear me talk about steel, diamonds, and knowing oneself. That's the hardest person of becoming an entrepreneur, or even when you have your clientele that you do every single day, of being consistent and being alive and having the energy and having the passion and delivering the service that you want to deliver to your client. We can talk about this all day long. Okay, so you're going to make decisions. You're going to stay motivated. A lot of people keep asking me, how do you stay motivated? Motivation is the biggest thing. Connect with the people that are more inspiring than you are. Always connect with the people that are inspiring. Connect with the people that can give you value. A lot of you that are on this Facebook right now, live, are the ones that are hungry. You're not hungry for food, but you're hungry for meaning. You want more. You want to hear it again and over and over and over again. And you want to make a difference of what it takes to really stay on track, if you will. So you got to have motivation. The third is habits, okay? You hear this all the time. It takes 21 days to create a bad habit and 21 days to get rid of, or to get a good habit. So 21 days in a row, whatever it might be. Could be a half hour, could be an hour, could be an hour and a half, whatever it might be. But that's how you create the habit. You know what I mean? Motivation will get you there. So if you go to the gym, motivation will get you there. Habits and discipline will keep you there. Okay, so you develop the habit. You work out, you take a shower, whatever you might do. Okay, and then the 85% is you're already there because of the habit. And then the 15% is you make the commitment. When you make a commitment, the commitment means you're going to do it when you don't feel like you want to do it. That's when you make the commitment. That's the 100%. That's when it comes down to developing a good habit. And then, obviously, you have to go after the results, and the results of helping other people live a better lifestyle. There's no question in my mind that each one of you that are here on Facebook want to learn more, want to grow, want to develop, and want to help other people become successful and live a better lifestyle. The more that we can get, the more we can give. You can't give somebody something that you don't have. There's no question about that. Always do it for the love and for the passion. 47 years, so almost 2.5 decades that I love doing hair. I love being around people. I love helping people. I like help giving back. That's one of my passions. And if I can learn as much as I possibly can, then I want to be able to share it with you. If it took me, 3 weeks or 4 weeks to write a book, and I can pull 1 or 2 things out of that book and share it with you in 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, that's the name of the game. So always do it for the love and the passion. Okay? Next, the game of entrepreneurship. Okay? And like I mentioned to you earlier, you have your independent contractor, which falls under the category of a suite and a booth renter. And then you have employer, then you have team-based salons. That's it. Now, I want to say this to you. Of all the studies that I've done, and all the salons that I've met, and all the salon owners that I met, the total mixed message would be having a booth renter or calling a suite owner or an independent contractor mixed in with your employer or your teammate's line. That's only an opinion. That's my opinion. You got to pick one or the other. You got to be an independent contractor, or you got to work for a team-based salon. Because if you don't, then the independent contractor pretty much does what he wants, when he wants, whenever he wants, with whom he wants. And the team-based salon, there's certain rules and restrictions that they can't do, like their scheduling, for an example, or their hourly pay, or whatever it might be, or they have to be in at a certain time. Independent contractor doesn't have to follow those rules and regulations. So what I find is a mixed message. There's two sets of values, and I don't think either one of them could work. So I'm leaving it up to you. You got to decide, what you want to do. That's just my opinion. That's all it is. That's all I said to you. When you think about it, the game of entrepreneur. When you think about the game of entrepreneurs, it's not easy having your name painted over the front door. We talked about that. You got to be able to walk away from your business, and your business has got to operate without you. That might be a choice. That was my choice to do that. You got to have a great team. You got to have great people. I mean, I have great people that work for me. You know what I mean? Every single one of them, from the school to the salon, they just been wonderful people. They initiate things. They help with things. They come up with ideas. I grow big ears when it comes to my people, and I want you to do the same exact thing. They do one big thing. They care about the other people within the salon. Now, I'm not saying that a booth renter doesn't, or a suite owner doesn't as well, but they're on their own. They're focused on themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's a personal choice. But I always say this. A team is a lot stronger than an individual. Teams win championships. Individuals win trophies. And I'd rather be on a championship team every day of the week. When the Boston Red Sox won the World Series, they all rode together. When the Patriots won the Super Bowl, they all rode together. They celebrated together. So as a team is a lot stronger than an individual. And I want you to think about that, okay? We're in a war of distractions. And I think a lot of you know this, that we touch our phones, we get at least 250 pings a day on our phone. 24-hour periods, we get interrupted 250 times, or we get distracted 2.5 hours a day. Somebody wants our attention. Everybody wants our attention today. If you go to your email, if you go to your text messaging, everybody wants our attention today. And they say it takes 25% more to get back into your alpha stage and to remember where you were before. Most of us don't remember where we were. We don't even remember where we were, where we left off. We forget, where did we left off? Because you paid attention to the email, or you paid attention to the ping, or you pay attention to the social media platform. It could be anything that you might get a ping at, okay? And the key, I think, with the game of entrepreneurship, in all three categories, no matter whether you pick independent contractors or you picked an employee teammate salon, you must love your customer. I can't stress it enough. We talk about it. We give examples. We go over it again and again and again and again. But if you love your customer, every single time they sit in that chair, they will continue to come back to you, and you will really understand the value of a lifetime customer. So this applies to all three, whether you're booth renting, whether you're a suite owner, whether you're a team-based salon. I think it applies to all three. So please, please, please take care of your customer. You know what I mean? You know that it takes at least 4 visits in order for a new customer to become your customer. And you start making money off of the 4th or the 5th visit. So it takes a long time. 3 steps to process for success formula. So this is the 3-step process for success formula that I think is really the key. Number 1 is awareness. You've got to be aware of what the client or the stylist is saying to you or another human being. Number 2, you make choices. So you got to become aware of what they're saying. You got to make choices. And number 3 is you're going to get a result. It's either going to be a good result or it's going to be a bad result, depending on how well you understand that individual. So it's awareness, it's choices, and it's results. Those are the three-step process for success formula. Discipline, and I want to say this again, over and over again, because this is a big word. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. Don't get mad at not everyone will like you, and everyone will like your goals, and everyone will like your dreams. Everybody doesn't like me. Everybody doesn't like my dreams. Everybody doesn't like my goals. But as you get older, you start to realize, and you become more mature, that a lot of these things, they just kind of brush off you. And you got to let them brush off you. Everybody's not going to like your opinion. Everybody's not going to like what you say. I love most people in my life. There's some people that I don't like, but I got to tell you, for the majority of the people, they bring value. They understand. I pick and choose who I want to surround myself with, and you should do the same exact thing. There's no question about that. Remember, people don't leave salons. People leave people. So it's all about people. No matter where you go, you either like them or you dislike them. You like their attitude, you like their personality, whatever it might be. The biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make. These are some of the biggest mistakes that they make. So the first thing I want to talk about, secrets of hiring good and bad. And you've heard me say this in most of my programs, and I will continue to say this. Most people hire in desperation. Most people hire on a shoestring. Most people hire carelessly, and that's why you can't grow your business, because you don't hire the right people to work for you. You don't understand what their needs are, what they're paying, what they like. So good word of mouth, already a client. Okay, they could be already a client. They could be word of mouth that they want to work for you. The brand, they know the brand. The brand is really in big. That's what people are saying about you outside of your salon and internally just as well. The questions to ask. You got to ask the right questions when it comes to secrets of hiring. And I think that, when it comes to bad, the culture is just not happy. You don't have a healthy culture. People are doing what they want, whenever they want, with whom they want, within their own salon. They don't go to the schools because they think that they're too busy, and they're too busy doing everything else. And I think that's really the key. They don't go to the school. They don't ask the right question. They don't have any training in place. And opening and closing, they come and go as they want. And be available for the client. And that's really the key. A lot of us are not available. We think we're too busy. Whatever, you got to be available for the client. Number 2, they have no vision. They have a business plan. They have a marketing plan, a social media plan, no goals, and they feel that a lot of it is not even detailed out. So these are the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make. They have no vision. They don't have a business plan. They don't have a marketing plan. They don't have a social media plan. They have no goals in detail with anything that they do. So they don't look at their P&L, their profit and loss statement. You should look at your profit and loss statement every single month, and you should look at it with your accountant. If you don't look at it with your accountant, look at it yourself. But who's applying this in Peachtree? Who's applying this in QuickBooks? I mean, one of the most important person that you got to have within your salon, or even as an independent contractor, is your accountant. We don't like numbers. We don't like to look at numbers. We don't like to do numbers. And we all know this. Some of us do, some of us don't. Okay? Once a day, once a month, once a quarter, once a year, you should be looking at your P&L or your balance sheet to see how well you're doing. I mean, if you go to a casino, it's like every 2 hours they know whether the table is winning or losing. That's why they change hands of dealers. If it's the table is winning, then they switch dealers. It's the name of the game. Okay? Number 3, trying to be all things to all people. And I think this is where a lot of us fall short. And it's one of the 5 biggest mistakes an entrepreneur makes is that they try to be all things to all people. Owners, booth renters, suite owners, do everything. Clients, they buy supplies, they're booking their appointments, they're answering their phone, and they have continuing education. They're like a gerbil in a cage. They're going 100 miles an hour, and they just keep going and going and going until they're physically exhausted. And that's one of the things that I talked about in the very beginning of being an entrepreneur behind the chairs, that we're physically exhausted. We don't make right decisions, okay? Number 4, not enough hours in the day. There's only 24 hours in the day. So time runs out unless you're organized to use the time that the best you can when it comes. Time is your best friend. You know, I have she is one of the managers at a salon in Alexander, Virginia, and she teaches a program that's called time management. I mean, if you ever get a chance to see her, you should see her, because she really cranks it up, and she does a great job with this program. And there's a lot of information in there that can help you manage your time effectively, okay? Don't invest into the business or staff or employees. You know, I see this over and over again, that they think that these people got to invest in themselves. You got to invest in the people. You know, they don't invest in their people, the receptionist, the stylist, the team, whatever it might be. They don't invest zero in anything in personal development. If you're not growing, you're dying. You're either on the upswing or you're on the downswing. There's no in between. You've got to constantly and continuously invest in yourself. And then technically, that's a whole different ballgame. So how well you treat people, you've got to learn how to invest and how to manage yourself, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-awareness, intelligent awareness, and then how well you do your technical ability, how well you do a balayage, how well you do a haircut, how well you do a clipper cut. All these things taking place. There's two that go hand in hand, okay? Independent entrepreneur challenges, and here's some of the challenges that I think that you might take. Cost control, okay, and independent entrepreneur challenges. Inventory, marketing, you're very small. Time management, you've got to really manage your time day to day, week to week, month to month. Brand awareness, you know, be part of your brand. You know, you're a small brand. You gotta hang on to your brand. You gotta hang on to doing absolutely beautiful work. Okay, there's lots of distractions. You know what I mean? So you could be with one client for 3 hours, or you could be booked solid, but there's a lot of distractions. The phone's gonna ring. People are gonna walk in. People are gonna want to talk to you. Okay, and then behavior challenges with others. So if you're not in a suite, if you're an independent contractor, you're going to see that you work with other people. There's a lot of behavior challenges. You might not like another individual, so on and so forth. Booth renters and suite owners, no time, and time runs out. Okay, so those are the independent entrepreneurs or challenges as far as independent entrepreneurs are concerned. Let me give you the advantages. The advantages is the freedom, is the hours worked, do what you want, with whom you want, choices. Not sure if it is a good for the business. I'm not really sure if it's good for the business. You need to be the judge of that. You need to really think about it. So that's the independent entrepreneur challenges. How to murder your business. So I wrote down 5 things of how to murder your business, and I'm embarrassed to tell you this, that there's probably about 1.5 million salons in the United States. 85% of them are not profitable. So that means only 15% are profitable. People are just getting by. I'm not saying that they're losing money. They're just getting by. They make money every single day. You take care of your customer every single day. The more you take care of your customer, the bigger tip that you get. You all know this, okay? But how do you find clients? How do you go out and get them? It takes a lot of time to build a clientele. So number 1, know your audience, whether they're female or male. You could be doing 70%, 75% female right now and 25% male. I don't know. Or whatever the equation might be. Okay? You could be doing kids. You could be doing senior citizens. You can be adults. You can be doing males. Whatever it might be. You figure out what your clientele is, what it consists of, what the basis is. Number 2, You don't understand a profit and loss statement. So get in front of a bookkeeper and get in front of an accountant and have them go through your profit and loss statement. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. When I talk about Q1, it's quarter. January, February, March, April, May, June, okay, July, August, September, okay, October, November, December. That's your fourth quarter. So you understand that. When do you look at this and why? We don't have a tendency to look at it. It gets away with us. But you got to know whether you're doing really good this year and you're going to do better next year, or you're going to do better the year after that, or when your best year ever was, especially if you have a team-based salon and you've been doing it as long as I've been doing it. You want to do it constantly and continuously, and you want to have an exit strategy, okay? All right, next, no business plan, no time. And this is important. You don't have a business plan, and you have no time to do it. So why would you open up your own business? Whether you're an independent contractor, whether you're a suite owner, whether you're a booth renter, whether you're a team-based salon, whether you're an independent salon, why don't you have a business plan? You should have a business plan, and I don't want to hear that you don't have time to do it. You should make time to do it, okay? When was the last time you looked at it? If you did do a business plan, did you do it 5 years ago? Did you do it 10 years ago? Did you do it 6 months ago? When did you look at it the last time? And inside your business plan is exactly should be telling you where you want to go, so you're thinking about it every single day. And that's what I talk about. You're looking at your goals every single day. Number 5, be more proactive than reactive with everything, with the employees that you work with your clients, even with yourself. Be proactive. 85% should be the solution. 15% should be the problem. Okay? Sit down with your accountant once a week or once a month. Let them know to be proactive. Let them know where you're going, what you're doing. And I think that's really important. Okay, before you know it, entrepreneurs are at the highest risk. There's no question about it that they are at the highest risk. Whether you're an independent contractor, whether you're, and like I said, under the independent contractor, you're a booth renter, or you're a suite owner, or you're an employee, you're at risk. So entrepreneurs are at the highest risk, okay? No more free time because you're working 7 days a week. There's a toll on your relationship. Working weekends because there's just not enough hours in the day. You have sleepless nights. And by the way, I'm going to remind all of you, they have categories when it comes to sleeping, and you're supposed to get anywhere from 8 to 9 hours of sleep a day, and you're supposed to get at least 4 hours of sound sleep a night. Okay? Undercapitalized, you don't have the money, and you keep taking money off your credit cards, or you keep going back to the bank, or you're taking it off your equity line in your home. That's all your responsibility. Okay? I don't want this to happen to you. Plan out your time. I don't want this to happen to you. And money, you will always move forward if you understand this. So as an entrepreneur, you got to think about this. They're at their highest risk, but they can be able to do what they want, when they want, whenever they want, with whom they want, once they get to that level. Okay? Ingredients that make a super salon. So I jotted down of not only being a great entrepreneur or an independent stylist or a booth renter or a suite owner, but how do you, what are the ingredients to making a super salon? And it reflects all three. Listen to your people, listen to your team, and you need to follow through. Number 2, cleanliness of the salon. Make sure that every single patron that sits down in your chair, you sweep the floor, you sweep the desk off, you sweep your blow dryer off. Make sure everything is clean and meticulous. All your products are in place before your next client sits down. It's not any different than a dentist or a doctor. They do the same exact thing. Anticipate in being ready. You know what I mean? And that's where the 10 minutes comes into play, or the 15 minutes comes into play. Today, we got to anticipate. There's going to be some changes. There's no question about it with the coronavirus. It's going to make us better. It's not going to make us worse. It's going to make us better. It's going to make you think strategically. Don't go back to your old habits. Really try to ramp it up and go to the brand new level. So, especially today, You know what I mean? Especially when you're going to reopen, okay? You're not going to do business as usual. You might want to think about your retail lines. You know, what about your retail lines? Do you have 5 lines? Do you have 4 lines? And maybe you only like 1 or 2 things out of each line that you're selling? Remember, you know, I say this all the time. You got to teach your client to protect their investment. You know what I mean? They made an investment with you, and you teach them to protect their investment. If you don't sell them retail, they're going to buy it somewhere else. They're going to get advice from somewhere else, and they're not going to get it from you. And I understand about the diversion, and I understand it's on Amazon. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at Marshall's, whatever. You can't get Paul Joseph Professional at any one of those outlets. And that's, you know, one of our products. It's been 47 years for me. It's been 20 years in a bottle. You know, they're all biodegradable. You know, they're paraben-free, gluten-free, sulfate-free. You know, every single one of them. We have 8 SKUs in our line, and it's the best kept secret. We're in about 44 salons now as we speak. Okay, new leadership is stand behind your people. You know, catch people doing things right. When you go into the salon, when you go into the school, even if you're an independent salon owner, and you have the suites and you have the booth, treat people with kindness, with respect, with caring, with loving, with serving. And you work with these people every day. You spend more time with these people than you do with anybody else. Be the BIW. What's BIW stand for? The best in the world at what you do. And I don't care if it's the cleanliness of your salon. I don't care if it's doing an ombre or a haircut. I don't care if it's taking the cape off a client. Be the best in the world at what you do. Take care of your customer. Make your customer laugh a lot. You know, make them feel important. Make them feel like they're the most important person in the salon, because they will tell other people about you, and they will continue to come back. Every client that leaves your salon, your autograph is on their head. And don't ever lose sight of that, and don't forget that, okay? Be yourself, laugh a lot, and have a sense of humor. Don't take everything so seriously, okay? Why culture is king? And, you know, when we think about being an entrepreneur, I have to tell you, culture is everything. And culture is how well people get along, how well the students get along, how well the clients get along, how well the stylists get along, the esthetician, the manicurist, the nail techs, the estheticians. Culture is king. And it takes a lot to create that culture and to keep it up every single day, especially if you have a lot of people that work for you, especially if you're in a salon as well. So the music that you play, the feelings that go on within the environment, the conversations that take place affect your culture, and especially with your customer. And those are the 3 things why culture is king and why it is so important. Okay? Price change, I can't say this enough, every October. You don't have to raise your prices in November or December, because Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming up. Them are the holidays, are the busiest times of the year. So raise your prices in October. How much? $2 to $5 right across the board. Do what Nike says. What's the Nike say? Just do it. Don't wait. I mean, the cost of living goes up 2.5% every single year. Every year the cost of living goes up 2.5%. You should be going up at least 3%. You know what I mean? Maybe more, maybe less, depending on your situation of where you are. But you should be raising your prices every single year. The can of tuna fish costs more money this year than it did last year. Same with bread. Same with English muffins. Same with everything else. Everything keeps going up. Okay? Except for gas. Gas is at its lowest it's ever been. And I think you're going to see that for a while. Okay. People will pay for value. And, you know, I always say that all the time. People will pay for value. Even in the turbulent times. Even back when 9/11 occurred. You know, and even right now with the coronavirus. People will pay for value. They still have the money, but they want value. That's the key. Okay? No question. Give them as far as you can when it comes to business. Give them value. Look at your goals every day. Don't look at your goals every once in a while. Don't put them into a notebook. Don't put them into a journal. Look at your goals every single day. That's the name of the game, both personally and professionally. If you don't look at your goals every day, if you talk to Damien John, you know, from Shark Tank, he looks at his goals every single day. I'm sure all the top people in the country that are extremely successful look at their goals every single day, both personally and professionally. Why wouldn't you do it just as well? When you're having breakfast, you might want to look at your goals, before you go. I mean, I know we're busy being busy. We have children. We got to get our children ready. We got to get ourselves ready. We're running a little behind. We go to bed late at night, but you got to look at your goals every day. I look at my goals every single day. I want to know what's happening. I love that. I took that from the hippies. What's happening? And then the sophisticated hippies want to know what's really happening. I took that from them. Every single day, I want to know what's happening. Okay? Be honest with yourself. And I think this is the biggest ruination. We're not honest with ourselves. And if we're not honest with ourselves, we'll never get from point A to point B. If we want to move forward, we got to be honest with ourselves. And this is the biggest thing you have to be. Is you have to be honest with yourself. So culture is king. All right, now I'm going to jot down. I'm going to give you the 10 commandments of being successful. Okay, so here we go for 10 commandments. And if you want, you can Facebook me, and I'll send them to you, or I'll put them up online. The commandments of being successful. So number 1, be your own cheerleader. You got to be your own cheerleader when it comes to anything that you do. I know motivation is the name of the game. We like to get motivated. We like to get stimulated by other people that are motivated and they're excited about what they're doing. You can do the same exact thing, but you got to be your own cheerleader. Number 2, never promise something you can't deliver. So be honest with the person. If you can't deliver it and it's something that you promised an individual, make sure that you come through. I think that's really important. Number 3, work very hard on your personal development. And I said this and I'm going to say it again, 3 hours a day. You might want to read something. You might write something. You might want to write in your journal. You want to start off your day at the 5 a.m. club or the 6 a.m. club or the 7 a.m. club and do the HOP, H-O-P, hour of power, okay? Diet, exercise, sleep, listen to good music, half-page plan, write down your big 5, your little 5, and then your last 20 minutes, what are you grateful for, and talk about gratitude. I think that's really important, okay? Number 4, always put love first. And if you put love first, everything else will follow. I don't care what it is. Most of the time, people don't get along with each other because we don't like each other, or they make an opinion, or they say something out of context. But always put love first. Number 5, don't take things personal. Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to like what you say. Everybody's not going to like what you do. But don't take things personal. Are you going to make every client happy that sits in your chair? No. So just take the best of the best and do the best that you can do. Be the BIW, the best in the world. And that's all you can do. Don't take it personal. Okay? Number 6, stay strong and stay positive and live with passion. When you live with passion and you stay strong and you stay positive, you can say, okay, what can I learn from this? And so instead of beating yourself up, you can learn a lot from it. Number 7, make the commitment. And I say this all the time. If you're going to do something, make a commitment to do it. You know what I mean? And the number 1 thing to make the commitment to is your health. Strong body, strong mind. Treat your body like a temple. If you don't treat your body like a temple, this is all you have. You know what I mean? This is going to make you happy. This is going to make you sad. This is going to give you the get up and go. And even though we're young, we might be young, 20, 30, 40, 50, we think we're young. We think that life is an eternity. It's forever. It's not. You know what I mean? Life's very short. Okay? So make the commitment. Number 8, never, ever, ever, ever give up. Okay? In anything that you do, I don't want you to give up, no matter what it is. Now, if you don't like it, then you can move. You can change chapters. You can try something different. You can find out what works. You might not like what you do. You might want to be an educator. You might want to be a platform artist. You might want to work on a cruise ship. You might want to do hair. It doesn't matter what you decide that you want to do. But the key is to never give up. Number 9, always laugh a lot. I laugh at myself. I laugh when I ride my bike. I laugh when I do different things. I'm constantly laughing at myself. You got to laugh at yourself. You got to make yourself laugh. You got to have humor, and I think that's really kind of important. It's the name of the game. And number 10, teach, loving, caring, and serving. And I'm going to slow that down. Number 10, teach, share, help, grow, develop, loving, caring, and serving. And I think that's a key. I think you will read that in every single self-esteem book, positive book about the name of the game is really the loving, caring, and serving. Do that for the people that you work with. Do that for your clients. Do it for everybody in your entire life, and you will go to a whole different level. Mark my word when I tell you. Okay, the future is something we build together. And I think that's really the name of the game, is that we got to build it together. We have each one of us. We're all part of the hair team. Even if we're not part of the hair team, we work for other people within other salons. The name of the game is to come together and to share. There's enough people out there for everybody. Everybody thinks that these are my clients. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this over here. I'm doing it. Everybody wants the same thing. I don't care who you are. And live a life that people dream of. Live a life that gives you the fulfillment that you're looking for. Have sleepless nights. Feel good about yourself. Have energy and passion. And I know it's a lot easier said than done, but you can do it. I know you can do it. All of you can do it. You know, but the future is something we build together. Okay? Always remember one thing: in order to add things to your life, you must take things away. And you know, you can look at your whole list. You have a should list, and starts at maybe 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. And you have a lot of things to do. But what are the things that you can eliminate that really don't bring you the most value? So do things that bring you the most value. And I think that's really the name of the game. Okay? So on that note, I want to say it's been amazing to talk to you. I've given you some good pointers about being the entrepreneur behind the chair. I want you to think about some of the things that we talked about. And I think they're kind of important of being an entrepreneur behind the chair, because everybody thinks that. I wish I learned this stuff 47 years ago. I wouldn't have to go through the trial and error that I did. You know what I mean? I condensed decades into days now and learned from the best of the best. And I want you to do the same exact thing. There's a lot of great people out there. There's a lot of people out there that are doing great things, that are sharing their knowledge, that are sharing their experience. They have successful salons. They have successful businesses. They are successful leaders. Learn from them. And I think that's the name of the game. We're all out there to share and to become more. Don't try to hoard it, because, you know, there's not enough hours in the day for everybody to be able to do it. I mean, there's enough people out there for everybody. And we can make it happen. We certainly can. And we learn. You talk to the most successful people. They've all learned from failures and setbacks and obstacles and defeats and disappointments. And it's just like all of us. Okay? So the only thing I want to share with you is that next week I'm going to talk about mastering your personal development. I'm going to take 2 of my CD programs that I teach all over the country and the world. One's called The Competitive Edge. The other one's Momentum. I'm going to combine both of those together when it comes to mastering your personal development, because if you don't master your personal development, you can't master anything else. You got to master yourself first. And it's probably the hardest thing in the world to do, is to master your personal development. The last series that I'm going to be doing, I shouldn't say the last series, number 7 is going to be the 10 core values of a winning team. And that pertains to booth renters and independent contractors, suite owners, team-based salons, and individual teams as well. And that's really the key, is the 10 core values of a winning team. So you can apply all 10 of them to any single one that you want, which is the name of the game. Okay? And then lastly, I'm going to do Book Solid, which will be the 8th series of this program that I've done. And that's going to tie everything together. And then I'm going to do each program. I'm going to take the best of each program and do a little bit on each one of the programs as well. So you can walk away with a wealth of information. I want you to be successful. I want you to do well. And if there's one thing that you can walk away with, that's really the name of the game. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of you being online and taking notes. And for those of you that are going to be looking at this later on, take some notes, take some ideas, and maybe there's one thing that can ramp it up that you can incorporate into your own speaking or your own salon, your own independent contractors, or whatever you might do. to help you to become a better person and to be able to share this information with the younger generation so they don't make the same mistakes that we have made. Okay? So have a good day. Have fun. That's the key. And keep ramping it up and keep getting better. Remember, C-A-N-I, constant and never-ending improvement is what it's all about. So thank you very much. I appreciate you listening to me. And I will see you next week in Mastering Your Personal Development. Have a great day. Take care now. All right. With love and respect, Paul J. DiGrigoli. Bye-bye.